What is up, guys? My name's Nate and this is Heavy Pedal Garage. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to take care of some metal issues on the front end of this car. Ultimately, I'm driving towards repair on that Endura bumper. But before I can do that, I want to get my gaps all cleaned up, get everything straightened out here. The corner of this fender was in a wreck. So the first thing that I want to do is make a pie cut into this fender so that I can match up the body gap from the fender to the hood. So the first thing that I did was I took my ruler and I made a consistent 1-inch mark from the bumper all the way across the fender. That's my reference point because I want to bring this fender in to have it even with the hood, but also to follow the line of the bumper. So 1 inch was my reference. So the difference between here and here is approximately 1/4 of an inch. So what I did was came off of my 1 inch reference line, and I came up 1/4 of an inch and made a mark, and then I connected the two. So what I'll do is take a pie shaped cut out of this fender, and that will allow me to shift the fender inward and match that gap. So let's get started. Show you up underneath. The reason I stepped it back 1 inch is because there's an inner and outer fender. So this inner part is the brace. So I come back 1 inch from this edge to miss any of the curvature in this under brace. And then of course I had to come all the way down and cut all the way through this in order to get it to pinch together. Alright, let's see if my plan's gonna work here. Trying to get everything flushed up here, and I think I'm nearly there. It's almost like I had to push it a little bit further forward than it needed to be because the metal's got some spring in it, but I think I'm there. Maybe just a couple more taps and we'll get it sanded down and ready for welding. Let's weld her up then. That's stitched up pretty good. Now it's still a little wonky. I got a little bit of a low right here, kind of dips down right there. I think you can see that. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more weld in here just to where when I clean it up with body filler got some good metal underneath of that, just it's on that edge. And it's probably a weak point. So that is an issue. And then, you know, looking at this, there's this body line that needs to match with the body line on the bumper, and it dips down right here. It's pretty low. That's an aspect of the impact that this fender took, so I might zip some weld right in through here to rebuild that body line a little better, and that way when we add filler it'll have some support underneath of it and just kind of fill that in. Well, that's where we ended up. Crazy. Hey Pops, how's that for chicken skin, man? Kinda crazy. I think this is gonna work though. We got that built up right there where it should be able to shape down and match the fender and the bumper body line. And then I cleaned up a few pinholes in my original pie cut weld and build up that little spot. So the next step is just let's get it ground down and do some Van Gogh work here and see if we can't sculpt this back into place. I don't even think Van Gogh was a sculptor. What the hell am I talking about? Let's just grind this down. Well, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. A little bit of body filler on there and it'll turn out just right. Fiberglass filler, be my first layer. But it's kind of contoured to the bumper now, and I spent a considerable amount of time getting the bumper relined back up, getting my hood edge good, working this edge right here, trying to minimize that gap. I want to keep a gap there. You know, what I've been reading is these Firebirds, you know, of course, they've got a subframe, and your subframe attaches to the car, the body of the car, the unibody, with some bushings. So the car fenders in the hood are attached to the body, to the unibody. So the frame and the unibody need to flex separately. You need that gap or else it'll pinch that and, you know, you'll ruin your surface here. So there's kind of the gap on this other side turned out. I like how I got it nice and tucked up. Where I gouged right here, I'll clean that up when I do the bumper. So I got the valance off, and I had a little dent right here that I'm going to clean up. And then in order to get it to fit right, I had to put some slots right here to get that to curl around. So I'll show you this real quick too. Remember this dent that I was talking about right here, trying to get it fitted up to the valance, is making some slices in here. And that allowed me to pull this out this direction and get it all matched up. So that looks pretty good. I'll have to weld that up as well. Kaboom! Looks pretty good. That's ready for some fiberglass filler. Corner's looking good. Got that all welded up. That little corner through here. So that's ready for some filler. So we got the valance all set up, scratched up, ready to go. Check that out. Getting ready to put some epoxy on it. But before I do that, I just wanted to tell you guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for subscribing and following along. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Support the channel. Check out this build. It's going to be pretty cool. But let me show you the fender here. That's ready as well. Yeah, I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm definitely not going to be shooting any video or doing any work on this car here for the next few weeks. I got some work stuff coming up, so that's going to keep me pretty busy. But when I get back, we're going to work on that bumper down there. We're going to do some enduro work on it. It's a pretty neat process. Got some places that are all blistered out and going to need restructured even, so That'll be pretty in-depth work that you'll want to see, so stick around. And in the words of one of my favorite maker channels on YouTube, John Maliki, let us spray.